So far, the Democratic presidential race has had two contests, this week's New Hampshire primary and last week's Iowa caucus. Even though only 65 out of the roughly 4,000 delegates have been handed out so far, the race is beginning to shape up into clear frontrunners and struggling candidates. You might be wondering, why are Iowa and New Hampshire first? Why do these relatively tiny states get to confer frontrunner status on the candidates who can do well among their highly unrepresentative sampling of American voters? To answer that, we have to go back over half a century. The modern nominating system dates from 1972. The old system was a mostly behind-the-scenes affair conducted by party insiders, a classic smoke-filled room kind of operation. That all changed after the 1968 Democratic National Convention in Chicago. That convention took place in the middle of the Vietnam War among delegates deeply divided about the war and the future of the party. And there were massive anti-war protests taking place outside the convention hall among people who felt unfairly excluded from deciding a very important question. It was chaotic, violent, and ultimately disastrous for the Democratic Party. Following their candidate's defeat in the general election, the party created a commission to figure out what to do about a nominating process that seemed to be broken. The commission took seriously the need to include the voice of the people rather than party bosses, and it came up with the system we have now, state-by-state elections to pick delegates who would be pledged to specific candidates. The number of delegates each candidate won now depended on the popular vote. A few state parties were already holding caucuses and primaries to let the people of the state choose their delegates to the national convention. Though before 1972, those delegates weren't tied to a specific candidate. The people of those states were basically just picking the people who would get to be in the smoke-filled room. Iowa had been caucusing for decades to choose its delegates, and New Hampshire had been holding a primary since 1916. The few states that were already holding elections for delegates seemed like the natural candidates to lead off the new process. But why do they still get to go first? Wouldn't it make more sense for larger, more representative states to hold the earliest contests? It probably would make more sense. But then, there's tradition and inertia, both of which are powerful forces in the world. Iowa and New Hampshire are first, because it's always been that way, since the modern system began in 1972 at least. And it's going to stay that way until there's a change, whether it's rational or sensible or not. When that change will happen is anybody's guess.